wins his last.
That's a crazy curve.
So,
You look skinnier the less the light is.
seriously?
Yes?
Yeah, it's dark. Fuck, then keep it dark.
Hey, turn them off.
Turn the lights off.
This has got to be filling all of us.
Throw one up on that by your Whataburger cup. Shocker, you got a Whataburger cup. Throw it on that Whataburger cup. We'll get a wide angle. I'm just not in it.
Yeah. No, you're in it. You're in it.
What do you mean I'm in it? I just looked in it and I ain't in it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, can we not be too absurdly nuts? If this is online and we're talking about, oh, Molly.
The drug or the stripper?
No, well, she's a random chick from the tattoo shop.
She is the chick.
We shouldn't talk about your
Special
tattoo.
creature
Yeah, it
of
won't come out till
broken
after.
Backgrounds.
All right.
Well,
Well,
talk about my tattoo.
is this recorded?
Everything's
Oh.
recording.
I'm not in the frame. Oh, but all right, they'll get
This
me.
ain't my first rodeo. Come on.
That was my monster, but okay, if you want.
No.
It's yours to have.
Say that again, Kyle.
All right.
You have to bring the sound up there, Blake.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's pretty cool that I know my ABCs, Dylan, isn't it?
We can't hear Kyle. He's not in the frame. How nice of us.
Can you? Yeah. Wow.
Okay. No, we're good. We're all good. I can hear everybody now.
Okay.
Is that BS?
No, I had this hit. Which
He's
was
lying.
mine,
He's
so now I
lying.
can only hit.
All right, let's cut us in. Well, hey, what's the first? Who likes chili?
Dylan, why are we here, man?
Dylan, why are we in Vegas, baby?
Why'd you bring us all the way out to Vegas?
For a talk show on Apple TV.
Yes, sir. Elaborate.
I got to share a show with David Meltzer and a bunch of other well-known established people. And I had the opportunity to bring you guys with me, and we all got to come to Vegas. Your guys' first time to Vegas, which was, how'd you guys like it, honestly?
Lived up to
Horrible.
the expectation.
Absolutely horrible.
Nah, this place is dog shit.
Tremendous thoughts of suicide, negative, depression.
Surprised hearing
This
from...
is awesome.
It's
Great
a
time.
lot the first time for sure. But yeah, we got to connect with some pretty cool people. I think there's gonna be a lot of cool things that come from this trip.
Dude,
And I thought it was an opportunity that we could all level up, socially or network wise.
We got to give Dylan credit. We were in the room with multi-millionaires. One guy that we really connected with had 100+ restaurants.
Yeah, Ike.
Ike, shout out Ike.
Well,
Try
Ike-
subs.
the host
The
of the
sandwich
show
shop
is,
guy.
host of the show's got over $100 million.
Yeah, David Meltzer.
Oh, David
is
Meltzer.
the
Yeah.
king of his
Yeah,
own.
yeah, Meltzer. Yeah,
kidding.
for sure.
I wanted to take it back to how we all first met because nobody, and kind of what we do actually.
Sounds good.
Kyle, go. Actually, who can tell the story better of how we all met?
Kyle.
the
No,
first one?
apparently I'm wrong, so Kyle's gonna have to tell it.
No, you're not wrong.
okay.
No, I'm wrong. Go ahead, Kyle.
Please. how
We
did
met
you meet Dylan?
in the
Tinder.
DMs.
Oh.
Through through
Grinder.
You met Brandon. Is Brandon?
I met Brandon Godoris at some Grant Cardone event in like 2021. It's a boot camp, I think, business boot camp. And then 2023, one of us DM'd each other first. And then we were talking about
throwing events.
I was doing an event. Dylan is a speaker. I'm not, but we need speakers. And so we started talking about that. And then over time, we just kind of became buddies. And now we've done a couple trips together and stuff, which is kind of cool. And now he's like
Dylan,
a key player in 1%, which is our event.
yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
And the production was definitely
Bigger.
over budget.
Yeah. The budget 4X'd.
But
due to
literally
Dylan, due to
went
Dylan.
up 4
If I don't remember, you did say that it would have been like a Dollar General conference had we not come in and at least
Yeah. Well,
some
I don't know about Dollar General,
General's
but we wouldn't have had a red carpet. We wouldn't have had a red carpet.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have had the sparklers or a DJ or
I think what
a
Dylan
legit
added,
stage.
a little bit of expertise.
Yeah.
Because we have not been involved in events. Like we didn't really have a whole lot
Not
of,
with a production.
no. So that's where Dylan came in and really, spiced things up.
We could say spiced up. Yeah, I mean, it was cool because like the opportunity is great. I'm if you don't know me, I'm pretty sick because I enjoy putting myself in positions where most would be like, I just like bet the house. What am I gonna do? And my mindset is always think bigger, dream bigger, and take those bigger risks. So the big thing was for me, I remember like transparently, I remember getting the email from Rockwell like you must sell 3,000, and my first thought was like, sell 3,000 for travel and stay. That's a lot. Like in my head, I'm like, I haven't sold 3,000 of anything. And then we're at a point where, what was that total number that I made in sales? 11. Was it over 11?
For the event, it was a little less, but for all in total, I think it was probably over 11,000.
Over 11,000. So like I was able to flex and build a muscle that I didn't know I had. And then also flex and build muscles that I had already in regards to my network and my skills and making sure. I mean, I wasn't a 10 out of 10 across the board on knowing who was appropriate to have at the event. But
Okay, with that said, tell everybody what you do. Like what you do every day. How did you do that for us?
So I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a podcast host. I am a travel tech for a Wall Street firm. And I also do event hosting services where I can help you guys host your events, bring people in, help you coordinate it, help you get sponsors. Happy to help host, speak, whatever the case, dive into my network and be able to blow things up. My big thing is I don't care how much you've made and what businesses you own. I care about the genuine human that you are in regards to character. So when it comes to character, I want to work with good people that want to do good things. So I couldn't care less. I'm around enough Wall Street guys. I have people that sit in offices next to me make $500,000 a month. I don't care about those people because they're more concerned with the watch that they wear and the car they drive. I have no interest in that.
Which is cool because one of the big reasons we started like 1% was one, to make connections, but two, one thing we do is like let at-risk youth in, and we really care about the school system. And you were super passionate about that too.
100%. I got to go on tour this year, and I spoke at 5 different. I don't know how many school talks I gave. More than 20 school talks I gave this year on tour, and it was an amazing experience. And I've also been able to mentor kids one-on-one. And like my big thing with kids is, we all, as humans, we have those days, we have those years, we have those months where we're like, this is hard, right? Us, we're gonna look at it as this hard, but some people it is. I always say somebody always has it worse, right? So if I had a rough experience in school or with my adoptions or my misdiagnosis, and somebody really does have it worse, then heck yeah, if I was my 19-year-old self, if I was the ability to be like, go to 1% for nothing, because you guys gave the kid who valued the Corvette the night before, you gave a free ticket to, and I could see it gave him a shift.
Oh, that's right. That was cool.
So like for me, it's big on giving the opportunity, but also building
The
the
valet guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of them. I was thinking of at first, but then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot the valet guy. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
think it's
cool.
big because, I slept through the cracks in the public school system without my parents and my team, and then I couldn't be where I am today without my team. And you guys are part of my team for sure, a good core crew I have, and you can't do it alone. If you want to do big things, you need to have good people around you, but also
Absolutely.
you have to have people that think bigger than you do. I think I was a big pusher for Kyle. I might have taken years off Kyle's life, but I also might have added some if we're going to try to get those back in these next couple
let's
of years.
get the money back too that we lost. How about that?
No, absolutely.
No, the production grew a ton. One of the big things was the red carpet that we added. Very legit
That was
red
huge.
carpet. 20 foot by 8 or 9 foot tall,
That red carpet
which
has,
was legit. I think 8 foot tall.
yeah.
Like legit. And like legit red carpet too, not some felt
Yeah.
crap from
No, it was
Amazon,
real,
which
yeah.
all the
is
media
what I
that
owned
came
already.
from the red carpet
The
has
light
probably
from
done
it.
over like 500,000 views just from the videos that have come over that on Mullet Bros page and everybody who posted
I would
about it.
guess way more, to
I
be
would say
honest.
it might
More
be
than
over
half
a million actually.
It could be 1 million views,
'Cause-
legit. It's a lot of
yeah.
views that we got. Not 100% due to the red carpet.
But it
Probably,
brings
but,
that.
like,
It brings, I think,
Credibility looks real.
I
Yeah.
went to. It is
Something
real.
legit.
First of all, it doesn't look real. It is real because
Yeah,
one, the
dumbass.
impact. let me elaborate. Let me elaborate on why. Because one, the impact was real. We'll put it
Yeah.
there. And I think that we get confused with the impact and the number and outcome of what we had come to the physical venue, but that's not where it starts and ends. It starts and ends with the first person who sees it online, with the first person who heard about it, with the first person who commented on it, liked on it, the first valet kid who is a little lost and said, let me come and throw my Sunday away where I might have had other things to do. That's, an impact is where it's lasting
Yeah.
for days,
Well,
weeks,
the
months,
valet kid,
years.
He's a freaking sick dude. He's
He's a
like my
sick
buddy
dude.
now. He wasn't lost. We did open it up to everybody though. We need more at-risk youth last year. By the way, we only had like 71 people at this event. Now, for a sort of first-year conference in Springfield, Missouri,
And 13
that could have
different
been
states.
far worse. To
13
say the
different
least.
states.
Could have been far worse.
Yeah.
But next
Well,
year, the amount of people who texted or DM'd me afterwards
Same.
saying, I can't believe I didn't go to that.
Same.
But part of that was because of the production. We increased the production to where we had sparklers coming out of the stage, a DJ,
Will.
VIP dinner the night before.
After party.
That was all inclusive, rooftop after party.
Yeah.
After the day after the event, or the same
The night,
right
yeah.
after the event.
Also, like production, and you said, speaking of being real, what was really cool, like one of the reasons we want to start this event was to actually have like real people on stage. Shout out Dan Chudy
Yeah,
to come up,
yeah.
and he dumps production and
Philly,
real.
Philly, Ross. Like we had some
Bag of money.
pretty heavy hitters.
Renee, and the
We had some pretty heavy hitters that were in the room.
Blake
and then
Shout out
also
to Tyler.
Kyle. But no, we had a
Shout out to Renee.
yeah. Shout out to Renee.
yeah, Renee.
We had a lot of really freaking cool people there. Yeah, we had a dude
Chudy
dump out
dumped.
like $100,000 cash.
on
We
the
should
table.
clip that video in here.
Yeah, clip it.
We had a
Roll the
lot of
clip.
cool things. You should definitely throw up some little clips of like the sparkler shooting up.
Oh, I'm in.
Are you that talented, or can you not figure that out?
Dude, do you know who you're talking to right now?
Speaking
Hey,
of,
why'd you look at my stomach there? I know
Yeah.
a fat joke was coming.
speaking
I
of
couldn't think of one
World
in
record
time.
holder
At the Krispy Kreme.
at Red Lobster in Peru.
Blake, how did you meet Dylan?
I met Dylan in Connecticut when we went to A to B.
A to B Con.
3. And then he rolls in.
Stanford,
It was so
Connecticut.
funny because Dylan and I had only talked on the phone, and Kyle was preparing me like,
Once.
yeah, Kyle was like, dude, you have to meet Dylan. Like his energy is like one of a kind. And I was like, man, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I think I'm really gonna like this guy. And then he rolls up into the hotel and like I was like, Dylan. He goes, yeah, just popped a Red Bull. We're ready to roll.
Working
And
off
I'm
of a
like,
dream.
this guy is going places.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
that
no,
was
just love his energy.
I appreciate that. I like, the cool thing is like when you find good people where you're aligned with. I don't know. I want to dive too far into it. I've recently dived into the spiritual side of success, and the spiritual side of your subconscious and being, and learning more of the understanding of why you do what you do and things you may not even realize you're doing because it's a subconscious action or mind thought. Is why would we all put ourselves in a position where I'm a person who reads off energy a lot, and there's people who I work with that they don't say anything or work with me, but being in their presence, my battery's draining, right?
yeah.
There's been days where I've worked on Wall Street for 6 hours or half day, and then I had to go to an event with Craig, and the half of the morning I'm like, I have no energy to go to this event. And I get to the event, and then I've got more energy going home than I did all day long.
Yeah, because you're around those people.
So, like, there's a lot of questions when I was going on this trip because I didn't bring any of my team. No Diaz for Dyslexia team came today. It was all 1% partners, but I was like, my big thing is make it make sense for me. What's my cost benefit analysis, right? Like, would I have the 1% guys at every single thing I do? No. Would I have my Diaz for Dyslexia
Dang.
team at every single thing I do?
Crazy.
No, I wouldn't. But when it's things that I feel appropriate for the things that I'm a part of and the people that I have for different wings and productions or businesses or whatever the case, plus you guys are my buddies, so I want us to all do well. I want us to all level up. So when I had zoomed out of the opportunity, I was like, one, I'm under contract. I got to go no matter what. But the second thing was, I don't really want to go to Vegas alone, but if I have to, I will. No sweat. But the other thing was, my big thing is how can I maximize this opportunity, right?
And you did. And because not only did it help you and your brand, and it's going to open up so many more opportunities, let alone being on Apple TV show with David Meltzer and all these big names.
That's
Also,
not that cool though.
Speaking of, speaking of, like, today we got invited to come back to the studio,
We did,
and we
yeah.
didn't.
true, and I don't know if everybody got that.
We didn't, no. And we didn't go back, and then we see the stories like Ryan Pineda went there, who I've been
And,
following for like a very long time.
Albert Preciado,
Yeah.
who
But-
throws like a massive business
Yeah.
conference.
So
Driven.
like on top of all those opportunities and maximizing the benefit for all of us, like I have an apparel printing business, and like I had the opportunity to maybe do apparel for some big ballers in the room. Our events that we do. Kyle's doing the toy drive in December. Like, these guys are all like, he got to talk to the toy drive guy.
Yeah,
Dan Fleischman.
who has like the world's largest toy drive.
Yeah.
What's
They've
dinner
broken
with
like
us?
I think 3 Guinness Book World Records, like crazy for like world's largest toy drive. I think one of them they broke last year was most number of toys donated in 1 hour. It was 8,000 toys, and just to do that, they had pallets of toys that like a company shipped in or whatever. I'm paraphrasing this, it's not exact, but this is how they did it roughly. And they had to they had to cut open the pallet and individually count the toys out in front of like the person. So that must have been like a Henry Ford assembly line just getting toys on, but 8,000 toys in an hour, all hand counted from
He
like a
literally
Guinness World Record
said
person.
that he was trying to break every year a different world
Yeah,
record.
for the toy drive.
said
And this
he
year they
will
have
hit
a
it
crazy
this
one.
year.
And
Yeah,
this
again,
this
yeah,
one,
he
he's
will
like,
hit it.
I'll personally fund it if I have to, which is crazy.
It's so, So for you to put us in a room full
Room
of
like
these
that is
people,
cool.
And
I
it's
love
a pretty
Dan.
amazing thing.
I know you
Yeah.
do.
I
I,
like
know
a
you
little-
love David too. So.
was-
No, I
Oh, I
love David
met
too.
Dan.
I love
So-
David too.
I had 2 people that wanted to
Love.
introduce kind of, and we were connected to Dan, wanted to introduce us to Dan, and then we met him through your show. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I
full
didn't know if I'd
circle
ever
how-
meet Dan. I figured at some point I'd meet Meltzer because he does so many dinners and he's at so many
Yeah.
events. I mean, Fleischman's at a lot of events. I figured I'd meet David at some point though.
Every
somehow.
time I've been with David,
But
I've been
Dan,
with
I didn't know
Dan,
if I'd ever
though.
meet.
So they're always together because usually when there's an event in a city, David and Dan work together on dinners or after parties or masterminds
Yeah.
the following day or day before. So like, I've been with them both multiple times together, like 3 different dinners, and then the show. So it's like that's number 4.
Yeah,
So
those
like,
dinner events are cool, and that's what part of the thing. We went for Dylan's filming for the show, but then there was a dinner. David Meltzer does these like VIP type dinners, and we
with
all
the
went
TV
to one of the
crews.
dinners.
Yeah.
Where they have like a few celebrities. There were like some Olympic gold medal people. There was like a
Couple
Hall
of-
of Fame NFL,
NFL
player.
yeah. Marshall.
Sam Taggart from he does door-to-door con,
Falker?
which is a huge
Falker, yeah.
sales conference,
Yeah. So it's
Jada,
amazing.
Dog.
and a few other people.
Also, not to mention,
They're
like,
big.
it was awesome to look around and be like, dude, we are the youngest people in the room. Not to bring like age into it,
No,
but it's
yeah.
like this is kind of a clear sign that like we're kind of doing the things that we got to do to get and pursue our dreams.
Fact. You really just have to write the check, though. That's seriously the biggest thing. Because, like, again, the reason why, I mean, we'd be here, but the reason why we're with them, is because I met Brandon at a Grant Cardone conference in 2021. So Brandon and
now
I
we're
both
all,
wrote
like,
the
best
check to
friends.
get in the room.
Yeah.
And now all of us are sitting in a hotel room because they knew each other. I met him, and then we all got together.
So for the people watching, which camera is the best to look
Don't
into?
be poor. Write
no,
the
no.
check.
Cut that. Cut that.
You hear, Kyle? You got to write the check. You got to get in the room. Next time you get a link or you see a video to come to the next 1% event, get in the room because you can get close to us. You can also get. I mean, they're in the crowd, man. Like you can sit next to people who
We sat
are
next to
where
each other
you
at
wanna
lunch. Oh, here comes the fat joke.
here
Oh,
we
I'm
go.
sure you were at lunch.
No, the big
But you
thing
can
is
get close
the
to
big
these
thing is
people.
when I
Fact.
first went to events, everybody was like, my focus was like, I gotta get backstage, I gotta meet all the speakers. Usually the power players aren't speakers. They're there.
No,
attending,
the
or they're
speakers, all they do is
supporting,
speak half the time.
Right.
Sorry, I said it.
No, yeah.
But half the time, most of
Totally.
them, that's the only thing they do. Like the one dude, I think Brandon and I were sitting next to him together. I sat in it. No, maybe not. This may have been a different event. But either way, maybe this was with Brandon. I don't know. But I was in a room with a dude who owned a water bottle packaging facility. It was at a Grant Cardone conference. Dude does like $1 gajillion a year in revenue. He wasn't speaking or anything. We were just sitting together.
Even John Sarasani's dinner. How much did we pay to go to that? $100
Like nothing.
in,
Well,
in
not
Illinois.
but
And,
maybe 200. But we bought like
200 or
the
something like
high end
that?
ticket, which
And then we're talking to this dude, and then he's got this like he invested in this huge medical company, and then he's got a Ferrari or
Terry.
something.
Yeah,
Shout
I have
out
a video
Terry.
of it on my Instagram.
Yeah. But getting
Yeah.
in the room and making these connections. If I had to
He
restart
took
tomorrow,
me for riding his Ferrari real quick.
Yeah.
This is a dude I was sitting next to at the dinner.
Yeah, and took us to his office.
Over to his
showed
office.
us his office. Yeah. It's amazing. But when you get into these rooms and you build these connections, if I had to restart tomorrow, if my business just took a I would be upset, but I wouldn't sweat because we have that rhymed. I should be a rapper.
Well, I mean,
No, but I wouldn't be upset because I have a network that like it would be easier to rebuild if I didn't have.
for sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's easier to build the second time than the first.
What else do we want to talk about?
Yeah.
I got a question for everybody. I'm gonna go one by one though. It's the same question for everybody, but they're gonna answer individually.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I have 2 questions now. What would you say your biggest takeaway of the Vegas trip was? We'll go Kyle and we'll go across.
Oh my god.
And then your second question is how do you feel you've bettered yourself since we've gotten this core group put together?
Well, here's the thing. I'm sure there's a ton of micro takeaways.
From Vegas, this trip alone,
This trip.
I
Here's
would
the
say
thing
yours is the restaurant. Getting in the room with the restaurant.
Well, here's the thing.
Like,
So this wasn't really like a conference, right? It wasn't like a business conference where you get up and you learn a bunch as much from people. So it wasn't like someone said something that just changed a lot. But meeting people and whatnot, I think Ike, the guy who owns a sub shop chain, and it's his brand. I'm looking to start a cookie thing. Shocker. Oh. He hasn't been making jokes. I don't know if it's because this is like business related, but if we
I'm
were
letting you
just
go.
if this camera wasn't here, he'd be
I know
cracking them
I'm
left and
not
right.
because we're both so ADD that we forget what
We'll
we were
forget what
talking
we're
about. Yeah.
But the well, I'm trying to do this cookie thing, like my own brand. And he did it. He did a sub shop, and he started with 1 unit, and now he has like over 100 units, between 120 and 130 units. So talking to him, and how I don't want to say simple it was for him to do it, because that's like underplaying what he created, but like he broke it down in such a simple way, pretty much step by step of how he did it, that I'm like, that seems like I could definitely do that. And also I have his number, and he texted me this morning like, dude, call or text me anytime you want.
Not only that, but it's weird how it works. We were on the phone all night, and I know you guys have been on the phone about the cookie shop, like planning and like visualizing what it's going to
Yeah.
be like. And that way, talking about it kind of manifested, I feel like, because Ike has a business partner who also
Owns
has
a cookie business.
It's
And
kinda
Ike
crazy.
just started a new chain that has 2 or 3 locations so far of donuts.
Yeah.
But it's a streamlined process of it. And also, Ike is very close, apparently, with the guy who owns Panda Express. And that guy actually like started it. He owns like 2,000
He was
units.
there.
And the guy called him.
Yeah.
Like the guy who owns Panda Express called him when he was there. He was like, "Oh, this guy's calling me." He showed me the phone.
Oh, look, Andrew.
And it's yeah. It's like he started Panda Express. I'm like, "Oh,
Have you heard of it?
have you heard of it?"
That's actually an interesting connection. I used to design Panda Express restaurants.
Did you really?
And Auntie Anne's in the mall.
And the
kiosks.
Those were dark times. Those were dark times.
You should have.
He's an
I know we've
architect.
got to go through this, but we couldn't breathe in the Uber. We were
I
laughing
could not
so
breathe.
hard because
the Escalade.
John Leslie said that this guy,
Oh yeah,
guy
I'll never
wouldn't
hear
let
the end
us
of the
in.
Escalade. My nickname's gonna be Escalade.
This guy wouldn't let us in the venue. I don't know if it was how we were dressed or what it was.
Dylan has ordered
And-
9 Escalades on his trip. Sorry, go ahead.
And the guy was like, "I'm an architect." I like saying like he should let
I've
him in. Like
designed
I'm
restaurants
an
all across
architect.
the country.
Brian, I'm an architect, and I would really like to see this building.
Listen, you may not know who John Leslie is, but you will after tonight.
Brian, shout out,
You
Brian.
wait
You're
and
gonna
see
be
these
sorry.
Auntie Anne's I put up. You ever seen a T-Mobile?
He didn't mean to in that order, but then he
no.
goes, actually, I did an Auntie Anne's kiosk, and we
No, he said Auntie
No, I
Anne's.
did
I
that
made a
later.
joke about a kiosk. I thought it'd be funny. He's like, no, it was.
It was really a dark time. But I've done
amazing.
restaurants, I've done kiosks at malls, I've done everything from studio movie grills, big box, shopping centers, malls. I mean,
What was your biggest takeaway? From
Biggest
this
takeaway
trip?
from
Right,
this
that was the
trip.
question.
Yeah, this
right?
trip,
This
yeah.
question.
network, impact, opportunity, value is the biggest takeaway is I'm just glad to be here and to be connected with guys just like all of y'all.
I gotta say, just like Kyle said, I was. We're clipping that. You
All
have
right,
no
we'll
idea how
have to
that hurt.
we'll have to edit that one out.
No,
Did I just hear Molly over here or something?
Oh yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Molly is a
We're
girl
in Vegas, remind you. There's,
who we met at the tattoo shop who
She works at
You
the tattoo
won't-
shop.
you won't see at
offered-
church on
offered
Sunday
her
morning.
services
Quite
in
clearly.
exchange for money.
Quite
no one
clearly.
took her up on it.
My
but
feet
that
still
is
hurt, never
who
massaged.
Molly is.
Fortunately,
Okay, back to the takeaways. I will elaborate on the networking because, like Kyle said, this was more of a networking type thing. When you do get into the room, just walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, what do you do?" And like that's how you start the conversation and have fun with it, dude. Because they're there too to network. And we just had fun and we were ourselves. And then there was this other guy there, remind me of his name, who said he wanted to buy us. He wanted to buy a production team for
Was
us
it
as well.
Jackson or something like that? Johnson?
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson?
Yeah, with the goatee, right? And
There's
mustache,
no-
the wife.
wearing all black.
Not Party Bus Russ?
Not Party Bus.
Oh man,
He's
what a
looking for
unit.
his drone right now.
He's ready for that F1
He's
race
ready
in
for that
Vegas.
F1.
But
I
no.
dare him to shoot me down.
Yeah. But no, yeah.
Y'all going to the nightclub?
But when you get into these rooms, figure out how to bring value to people and just have fun. I mean, we were just joking with this guy. I don't know if we could bring any value to him, but he really
You
enjoyed
can.
talking to us.
I don't know where that subconscious
Everybody
thought came from,
can
but for
bring
sure
value
you can.
no matter what.
Oh, I'm saying if you can't bring value to somebody, like you can still make like a new friend, and then later down the road
You can
maybe-
always bring value.
By
Yeah.
being
No,
Yeah,
you definitely
Blake.
can. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Dumb
Blake.
thing to say.
This is why
I got
you don't
it.
speak on stages, Blake.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
why
why I
we let
get
Dylan
interviewed.
speak.
This is why I can't do keynotes. No.
Hey, we're great at doing two things. We're
Notice
great at
I asked
doing
him
and
to
we're
help
great at
me
producing.
with
He's great at
1%.
communicating.
Yeah, true.
Were you the host,
Yes.
Blake Schaffner?
Okay,
Were you the
I'll go
host?
back to my point. Getting in the room and networking, like this dude, he just really enjoyed talking to us, and he goes, "Can I get a production team for you guys? And we'll all split the rights and stuff like that." And that was just really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Like we got super close with this guy in a day, you know. So I would
Cool
say
dude.
my biggest takeaway just networking, being yourself, getting in the room and stuff like that.
And he had just sold his company for like almost $30 million.
Yeah.
And now he already has like a new company that he bought
Yeah.
that he's like going to try to grow to like a gajillion dollars, like
Yeah.
a really huge company. Because he did not think the last one he sold apparently was that much. And also it's a good connection because Blake or Dylan is going to want to write a book pretty soon or is working on
Yes.
it or whatever.
Another
We
way
are,
to
we
provide
are working
value.
on it.
And this guy was like, hey, we need to talk because I can tell you some of the do's and don'ts. Because he just published his first book and he's already pre-sold 2,000 or 3,000 copies. Pre-sold.
And he
at
did
full
it
price.
in 20
of like
minutes.
his full
like,
his
we
full
would have
price
had
was
to-
like $30 though.
What
Crazy.
he told us in 20 minutes, we would have had to research on Google for like probably a couple days.
Or
to figure out
do
what
it
he
and
was saying.
screw up and
yes,
learn the
yeah.
hard way.
It's
which
cheaper
is
to get in
worse.
the room, you know? It's
Yeah, especially because like I'll there's a high chance I never write a book, but like Dylan being
Yeah, you
in the
will.
process, that's
you
a
will
decent,
too. You write a
decent,
book.
you know.
There's some self-deprecation going on over here. You
Yeah,
guys
what
are not
the-
confident.
Dude, that's
well,
the
what
problem.
am I gonna
You're
write a
the
book
problem.
about?
Why?
What?
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 This dude, let me
How
talk
to
about
be
this
an
dude.
entrepreneur
This
by
dude's
Kyle
a
Gardner.
dorm
How
room.
Blake and I cleared out the
How
Golden
to
Corral.
eliminate
How we set
self-defeating
records at
prophecies
restaurants, not
by
in
Kyle Gardner.
restaurants. This dude sells $3 million in shoes in high school, and he's like, "What am I
Not
gonna
in
write
high
a book
school.
about?"
That was over
In
like
college.
8 years.
Defeating that inner bitch voice by Kyle Gardner.
That was over 6 years.
Can I challenge you
Anyway,
to
it was
like 8 years.
to focus in on where that comes from and fix it?
This is,
Yeah, you got. I mean, I
all
don't
right,
get where
maybe
it
that's
comes
what
from.
I'll write a
Motivational
book about.
speaker.
How I overcame.
His dorm room looked like
Talking.
a shoe warehouse.
Negativity.
An Adidas shoe warehouse or
Yeah.
something like that. But what was your biggest takeaway, Dylan?
Oh, my biggest takeaway? I mean, I don't want to sound corny, but I'm going to say it anyway. My
Okay,
big,
wait. Then I'm gonna change the battery. in this.
Hopefully, his biggest takeaway is
Quick intermission.
knowing that he doesn't have
after
to
the
take
break.
Escalades everywhere he goes.
that lesson's not being.
yo,
You go ahead, Dylan. Go ahead.
what's wrong with an Escalade?
Nothing wrong with Escalade. They're just insanely expensive to book.
No, they're like taxis for business people.
It's funny though because an Escalade can range from like $30, which is like not like $10 more than a
Matters
normal
where you're
Uber,
going and what
or
time
it could
it
be
is, sir.
$90 for a mile. Like it's crazy.
Oh, my takeaway. Okay.
asked
Your
the
biggest
question.
Oh,
takeaway,
yeah.
senor.
My takeaway was It's crazy. For a long time, for these last 4 years, I've felt like any entrepreneur has, but you feel like you're going crazy to a point right before things get really good. You feel like it's like, I was so ready, I was so ready a couple of times to just, this isn't working, it's not worth it, X, Y, and Z. And then the minute I say that, something shows itself, and it's like, this is why it's worth it. I've had people come up to me and say, I didn't commit suicide because of you. I've graduated this school because of you. I'm doing this because of you. And you've inspired me to chase my goals and dreams. I think that's the biggest compliment I've ever gotten. But I, until this year, didn't have the skills to be able to understand and know how to receive. So people would be giving me compliments and praise and X, Y, and Z. And I just say, they're just saying that and ignore it. And that's my biggest takeaway, is that that's unfair to them, because my favorite thing to do is give and build opportunities for others. And then if I don't know how to receive, I'm taking it from somebody else. I'm taking that pleasure of giving away from somebody else. And then also, I work hard. I work hard. So I should be able to acknowledge that.
And your message is very strong.
Thank you.
It's what a lot of these kids need to hear about hard work. And I mean, I didn't know what really hard work was in high school, because they weren't teaching me anything valuable. So we're all passionate about the school system.
You knew what hard work was. You had 8 medals from the steakhouse. That's not a joke.
I had 9.
Kyle,
That's not
I got
a joke.
knee sweats, Kyle.
I had 9. I also started an ice cream truck in high school. That was
so you
kinda
knew
hard
something,
work.
I'm sure about
But
it.
that was so I could eat the ice cream.
I think that
the
my
indoor.
biggest takeaway over this weekend, but this year, because I got to go on tour and speak on some pretty cool stages with cool people this year. It's okay to bet on yourself, and even though you're doubting yourself and you're doing these things that are uncomfortable, they're gonna work out if you make sure and allow them to. And I was able to realize that I was on set, and it was the first time this entire journey that I was actually present for something. Because every time I do something else, I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing this show now. Before the cameras go, what am I doing next? We're doing this book. We're doing this TED Talk. We're doing this. But it was good to be present and understand, one, I deserved it. Yes, I'm at this position, and yes, we're young. And 2, what a pleasure. If you divorce the outcome, which the outcome is very limiting, and just marry the process and fall in love with the journey. This last year, the journey became so much fun, but that's because things picked up, right?
Yeah.
Was it hard to feel like I was spinning my wheels with selfie videos for 4 years? It's probably the hardest thing I ever did. But after the 4 years, you know better than anybody. After 4 or 5 years of consistent uploading, it changes your life.
Story of the bamboo shoot.
You just what was your following last year?
Oh, last year. I don't know, but I'll tell you, for
Maybe 200, if that.
200,000. Yeah, no, it was like
what I was thinking, it
200K
was around
probably
200.
total with Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube combined. And then we kept posting consistently. Didn't change anything. We did bring in a videographer, which we didn't have money to do, but we worked out a deal with him, and he saw our vision. And so he agreed to come on the team. And we didn't have time either, because we're also running the printing business. So we're like, you come once a day, we'll film a ton of content. Or no, sorry, once a week.
I was like, whoa, that's more than I thought it was.
What a commitment.
No. Yeah, once a week, we'll film a ton of content and post it throughout the week. And he goes, dude, I can do that. I'm in. I remember sitting in the pool room on New Year's, and I was like, Nolan, what's our goal this year? What do we want to do? Nolan's like, I want 100K on YouTube. I was like, yeah. I go, buddy, we're at 2,000 followers on YouTube right now.
Right.
And so we're like, all right, what do we got to do that? Get a cameraman, get someone who knows how to get good quality content. And we did that, kept posting consistently. We're at 700,000 followers now. And it's it's hard to even explain, but that consistency is what did it.
And it's that you were 4 years in at that point, or 5 or more?
We started making content
21,
in
22?
21, 22.
Well,
No,
21 we had a
content.
page that we did not commit to.
Yeah.
Because none of us were committed.
Yeah.
And it was
we're in
TikTok of us just goofing around. We did have a huge video, though.
Yeah.
The second video ever posted, I probably only ever posted 5 videos on it because we were not committed at all. Second video ever posted got 7.5 million views on TikTok.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
And then, the views are, and then the Mullet Bros views in 22. We had a couple that were doing good. We had one that hit 30,000.
Yeah. How many? What's your highest viewed video?
Highest viewed video is 22 million alone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so like back, we were like, oh, 30,000 views. Maybe we can do something with this. And we just kept trying to get that. And I remember getting one that was like 3,000 views, and I deleted it because we were so spoiled from the get go, like just with the content and views. Looking back now, I'm like 3,000 views. I mean, think of a room of 100 people. if you're getting 50 views, 30 views on a video, that's a good sized room of
Even
people.
if out of the 3,000 views, even if the average person watches it twice, that's still 1,500, which is like, I mean, we had 71 people at 1%.
And it looked like a full room. You know, that's a good room. So for the people that are making content right now, don't get discouraged if you're not getting 30,000 views off the rip. Keep posting consistently, and you'll see that grow. Also, it's kind of better to grow that way because you can develop relationships with your audience easier.
Yeah.
Right now, if someone DMs us, there's no way that it's hard to build a relationship. So
See, I went backwards.
enjoy growing smoke.
I went backwards from you guys. I went and built those relationships with the people that, which is why we were able to do what we did here and 1%. But I did that, and now we're starting to shift into, like, I just did my videographer and editor this year. So now our content aged up a lot, but
Your content's looking really good, and it's cool to see your content getting better and better.
But that's just recent. That was like, oh, okay, we've committed to a tour. We've got to up all the content for promotional. But, like, I'm only averaging 1,000, 1,100 views a video, but I'm like, cool. Like,
But you have a name for yourself already. You got your connections, you got your network, whereas most people try to build up and grow as they are trying to grow themselves.
On that note, John Sarasani, like, you know the story better, you say it, but he made a name for himself and then started the social media stuff.
True.
And he's not
Also,
selling it.
side note, the business category is one of the harder. The business type, that type of genre you're sort of in,
1,000%.
hard kind of niche to get.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Everybody and their mom's trying to post business content.
Well,
We're a comedy, and we have something different.
Well, also business. It's a small group of people that would watch it.
Yeah.
Everyone loves to laugh. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of people posting comedy content that have horrible comedy content and have 13 followers, and they've been doing it for 2 years, but they're just probably in the wrong thing. But, you know,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when in the business mindset, you're building a business, you're not focused on your outlet. You're focused on the product. You're focused on the sales. You're focused on growing. It's not till after that you start working about, oh, I need to start actually telling people. I need network. I need branding. I need outlet.
And then it's real.
I mean, that's something that I was told 3-4 years ago. Every successful person needs an outlet.
What was your second question that you asked earlier?
Oh, second question? I forgot my second question, to be honest with you.
whip up a new question.
How was the
I have a
growth?
question, but I don't know. Can we cut? I don't want to sound self-conceited at all. I'm just very curious. So we can cut it if it sounds
Just
that
ask it. We probably won't cut it.
But
Here we go.
You know what? It's great to be me.
What do you love about me most?
no, not love. It was what is something that you've learned from me or from observing how I've been able to build these relationships and do these crazy things.
You have brass balls.
I was just
You
going to
just
say
walk
to not
up.
give a fuck about what anybody thinks. That it is something amazing.
I got you.
Wearing sunglasses and
In a pitch black nightclub. I'm joking.
Yes.
Wearing
Shout out, Dylan.
sunglasses
Thank you,
literally
Master.
in the dark, though.
But you'll go talk. You go talk to anybody, and I mean, it's a skill that kids are lacking now, and that I think you're gonna one of the most things you're gonna impact, even kids or even grown adults who have a hard time just like going to talk to somebody, and that's really cool too because of what we're doing with kids now.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, these days, a lot of people are walking around
impacting.
fear, like
Yeah.
anxiety. They've never done anything
Yeah.
with their lives. They've stayed inside a padded room with Xbox in front of their face.
Right.
I also kind of want to retract my brass balls thing because one of my favorite thing actually might be, or what I've learned, like if you will, would be if someone doesn't like you, that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah.
I have my catchphrase.
I like that. I like that. I like that. That's hilarious because if you like walk up or like if you say something to a girl who's walking by and they just keep walking, you're so like they're lost, like that type of thing. Which
for real,
guys don't usually have that approach. And I'm not just saying girls. I'm saying like you go up and walk up to someone at a networking thing or something,
Yeah.
and they don't give a flying hoot about you.
that's
Like
what
again,
you
it's
gotta
their
have.
loss, not yours.
The
I
most,
love
the
that.
most professional way to say it for me, because I know you guys know I say it way not professional with you guys, but it's like, I'm so sorry that you feel that you can't better yourself to a level where you'd want to have a conversation with me.
Absolutely. They're like, what about it is it about me that's intimidating?
You gotta brainwash yourself to think.
Oh,
that,
he's not
because,
brainwashing himself.
No, he's well, no, I'm saying for people who don't believe that in themselves, like start thinking like
Belief.
that, and big things
Belief.
are gonna happen. Yeah.
I think the
What-
biggest thing I've done is like take action and then figure the rest out later. Did you answer the question, sunglasses?
Well, one of the, I was going to say, is
Crazy.
Did y'all meet in Connecticut? How did you guys?
We
meet?
met,
We met in
in
Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia.
at Ken
Wh-
Jocelyn's
why?
event.
Because I hosted. Sean
Why
Crane.
Atlanta?
Sean Crane's a speaker, and Ken Jocelyn used to host these big events in Atlanta. And I hosted. This is gonna sound crazy, but it's true. I hosted Sean Crane in Norwalk, Connecticut, at this huge corporate center.
Flew him
At
out.
20 years old, at a sold out venue, and I flew him out. Hotel limos, we did it all, and then
Of course, you had
Yeah,
limos.
I was just gonna say, of course.
A black Escalade stretched out limo.
it was an Escalade, and then it was a Cadillac executive car, like what the president gets driven in.
no.
Yeah,
No
you,
way.
Dylan.
yeah,
You got an Escalade?
Wow.
Couldn't believe it. The first out
Okay.
of 900.
And so
Fashion Week,
Sean
probably.
had us over at the Ken Jocelyn's because he was having a
Okay.
mastermind in Atlanta.
And he heard I was
had
going.
A reciprocation of value with Dylan over there.
Okay.
Sean heard I was in
So
Atlanta.
you just said what's up to.
So whenever I was hanging out, Sean had him as a guest. We went all to a steakhouse. They came back to the dinner, and he started saying, "I wanted to introduce you to this guy. He was the reason why he was over here." Started talking about what he did, and everybody else was going up and saying, "Oh, it's so great to meet you. I remember whenever you were on this event. I remember you were on this speaker or this podcast." And he was like, "I remember you because you just came up and said, 'That's cool. Who are you?' I'm John Leslie."
Hey, did you when you walked up to him, did you say, "Are you a stoner snowboarder?"
Oh, can we please talk about that?
Yes.
The
Let's
guy
get
who
into
holds the biggest business. I'm
Not
sorry,
a bit,
John.
it's up there. It's a good size one. You
a
had
good
me
side.
rolling,
One of the
John
biggest
Leslie.
business. What did you say to him? Oh, can we say? Should we say his name? Everyone will know who he's talking about if they're in the business world.
So Sam Taggart, right?
Oh my God,
Yes.
he's not press trained.
It was a smooth. It was smooth, John
Dude.
Leslie. It was smooth.
so
But, like,
You're a smooth talker.
when I met him,
that I have had a lot of weird moments, far weirder than that with
I have a
things I've
super
said.
you,
power. I have
you
a
and Sam
superpower.
clicked very well. Very
But no,
well.
please tell me the story.
So I have a thing. I've never met a stranger, and I was looking over, and I
very
was
good about
told to
that.
be warned that this guy does big stages, and I was like, "Oh, well, then of course I'm gonna go talk to him. Why would that make me afraid of him?" So I was just like, I was already thinking to myself, "Who's this guy in a beanie looking like he just like smoked weed and like bombed a hill on the snowboard? Like he looks like he's me from back like 15 years ago when I used to hang out like doing crazy adrenaline.
When you used to be
junkie
cool,
stuff.
right?
He looked like
I used to be cool.
Yeah.
he looks like Kyle's after pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
I'm the version of him that let
we're
himself
gonna
go.
put a picture up.
I remember asking him, I was
We're
just
gonna put a
like,
picture up.
Speaking of which,
"How did you do what it is that you're doing?" And he was like, "I just became resourceful." And that was one of the biggest things that took away from meeting with him, is that the whole reason why he got where he was at is because he just made it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't complain. He didn't make excuses.
Door-to-door sales too.
Yeah.
What was the things? The party poppers, he said. He didn't have first cold cannons on one of his first events. He had party poppers, and it was way more of effect. How much are cold cannons? How much are cold sparks?
Well, when you know DJ Will, like I did,
Oh, yeah, they're
when
free,
you got a
but-
connection, shout out DJ Will.
I got people for that.
he didn't burn the place down
Not
either.
everybody
Yeah,
has
I was
cannons
worried
getting
about
out.
that.
He admitted later that he was slightly worried that the
Curtains would catch.
that the sprinkler system would go off because he did a wedding with those same cold spark
Could you imagine?
things where the
Dude.
sprinkler system went off because somehow the light triggered it.
Not on my snakeskin boots, dude. I would have been.
No, your boots would have been. Oh yeah, the water damage for kind of.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I had a really nice suit on that day too.
Yeah.
That would
Are we-
have. That would have been my 13th reason why. If that place caught If that place lit up,
I was waiting for the
Could you
backstage
imagine the
curtains to go woof.
Could you imagine how fast though that press would have went around Springfield, Missouri? Could you imagine?
Can I also
There's no
mention
such thing as bad press.
That is
the
facts.
backstage curtain that everything and everyone was behind? Someone, I don't remember who, almost knocked it over. Someone
Why are you looking at?
bumped,
as a
it
me?
wasn't
Oh,
you.
oh,
Eric.
I
Who
thought you
shall
were
not
saying-
be named.
Which side of the
It was a
stage?
speaker. It was a speaker.
speaker.
Someone accidentally
Yo.
bumped into it, and the whole thing went like that. And
just imagine.
I went like this. I went like this.
Could you imagine the sales team? Could you imagine the sales team?
Could you
for
imagine the
next
front
event?
row?
Could you imagine the sales
And me
team
behind
for,
just like-
for 1% 2025 being like, hey, we'd love to have you at our next event. Oh, what event? 1%. That's the place that caught on fire.
Different
that
venue
guy
this year, different partners.
That's the one. Upgraded
That's the one.
Upgraded our.
Guess
Spontaneous
what? The
combustion.
backstage is actually backstage this year.
That's amazing. That's gonna be cool to take those clips and compare them to our future events.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Can I challenge
Stanchions.
all the partners here
Too.
in 2025?
Here we go.
Here
Last
we
time
go.
we did this, I lost $9,000.
True.
Let me
So
see.
no.
Let- no,
Brace
no,
for
no,
impact
no.
in
Yes,
3,
challenge us. Challenge
2.
us.
I know one
What?
of the partners here is already doing it, and he'll do it no problem for the rest. But
Lose weight.
no,
I ain't me.
I'm not shooting for the, we're not shooting for
shots
the stars
fired.
here, Blake. I didn't ask for a Make-A-Wish. So here's what.
That's great.
Dang.
Hey, this is not a
Leave it
roast.
in.
This is a podcast.
No, so my challenge to all the partners is, even including me, I'm not perfect.
Thank you, Jesus.
In 2025, we all officially go sober until 1% is done.
Let's do it.
Blake, can you do it? I'm joking.
Hey, I only drink because of y'all three.
Yeah.
Y'all forced me to do
I'm
this.
sober. Really?
Duress.
No.
Sober.
So that's after
sober.
holidays.
Easy.
That's after holidays. So we have holidays.
Yeah, that ain't a challenge for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, no,
I don't
no.
really
I'm-
drink ever.
Oh, boys.
Unless you get a
I've
phone
8
call
beers
from
in.
me.
I'm 100.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the easy way for me to start doing heroin is if you start calling me every day saying, "Hey, I got an idea." That's the way I start doing it.
I'm 100
Keep
and like
Kyle off
18 days
drugs.
sober right now.
I thought it was more than that.
No.
And sober of
118.
everything. Of
I
everything.
only drink because of y'all three. Y'all cause me stress. I'm the old man here.
I've been
No bad habits.
no bad habits.
My problem.
But can-
sugar.
can
Sober
we-
for me is sugar.
Can we?
Sober
can
for
we-
me is soda, not
But
alcohol.
can we-
I'm
You
not-
can't
I'm
like
not an
fully
alcohol
cut
guy.
out.
Can
sugar.
we set a goal though? Set a
Like,
goal
no
to lose
soda.
weight this
You know
year?
what I should do? No, you know what I should do?
What do you want to look
I
like?
can't.
in-
Hold on,
200.
I can't 100% commit to this.
You're gonna have to.
200.
But I accidentally do it sometimes because the restaurant
Yeah, true.
is the
He's
soda.
a-
Because
yeah,
here's the thing:
yeah,
if I get
sure.
thirsty or something, I go over and I just and then
Nope,
I'm
nope.
drinking it, and I'm like,
What else could you give up? Though?
when are we
Or
starting?
just
this?
just do like
When
a
are we
weight
starting?
loss thing.
You should.
You can give up.
I do
No,
need to do
no.
that.
Here's a question. What's the goal weight that you want to be at?
What would you be happy at? Mine's like 230. I
Dude,
think I'm
it
happy
sounds
at
crazy. I'm happy now.
220.
That's our
I
problem.
know.
We always
That's
said that
our
was our
thing,
problem.
yeah.
Is that's why we
We didn't
dude,
get- we
this
didn't
dude
care.
dropped like 40 pounds though.
Make you
It's
care.
because I
30
just
or whatever,
stopped
40
eating
pounds.
like.
You stopped eating. Period.
Yeah,
Water.
well, I was
fasting.
doing the 3 to 4 day water
Dude.
fast. Gary Brett.
I was in
I should
college
do that. I
once.
should
I
do
was
that.
297, and I just
be
got
good at that.
tired of not being able
it-
to
I
breathe.
thought you were saying good
And I
at
just said,
297.
"Fuck it, I'm gonna lose weight."
You looked so good.
Your shades are too dark.
His shades are too dark.
Well,
You are wearing
But
5% tint
shades are
shades.
You're
Wow.
literally darker than me.
You took that to a tint shop.
I take everything
Those
to
are
the
darker
shop.
than
You're
my
getting
car's
pulled
windows.
over. If you leave here
I do
You
gotta
he's
be
got
real.
to take all those Escalades because they'd pull him over driving. Like, no way that guy can see right
They at least think he's a celebrity. Well, he's a celebrity. The D is for dyslexia. 1% are a celebrity.
Yeah.
With,
Are you dealing
with
for
the cold
1%?
sparks, with the cold sparks.
The cold-
And how you're actually on a legit TV show. You don't need to be on this with us, dude.
Yeah.
This is charity work for him. This was our Make-A-Wish.
This is my Make-A-Wish, yeah. We are
Blake's like,
blessed.
I'll come to Vegas on one thing.
One
We
condition.
got to spend $80 on Ubers, $40 on cables, and we have to
Can I
wait till
just
the
say-
last 3 hours of Vegas to film it.
This
Film a
podcast
podcast.
was $500 to record. This is the most
Yeah.
expensive podcast I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
It's cost me $7,000.
Brought
so.
to you
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Mullet Bros Printing Company.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
If you need shirts, buy
It's
it.
a business expense. It's okay.
Yeah, if you have a business, call today. I'll put the number on.
1-800
Cars for
Fat
kids.
and crippled.
Mullet. Lord, I'll cut that out. All right. what
No, we
else?
don't cut it. I thought we don't cut out. You told me you don't cut out of these.
Yeah, we gotta cut out the word.
And Jesus.
Well, since we're on this trend.
So when Blake first got here, he got 3 scoops of Haagen-Dazs.
Hold on. I'm backing him up. I'll back him up. I'm the reason that happened. I said you got to go 3.
See,
We
Dylan
also
is
went to
so
a
good at
buffet.
sales. Dylan is so good at sales. He said, "Get 3." I said, "Okay." He talked
Don't have to ask me
into
twice.
dude.
I was like, you're here, bro.
We also went to a
Send it.
buffet. John Leslie was very upset.
I spent $15 on the ice. Dude, Vegas is so expensive. Do not come to Vegas.
Yeah, it's $50 to open the fridge right there.
That
Not
is
only
no
that,
joke.
it's $20 for a can of
We're at
Coke.
$5
MGM.
to use the soap per pump.
The thing
per
on it
pump.
says there's a sensor on it,
I
and
have
there's a
question.
$50 fee to open
I have a
it.
question. Can we estimate really quick, just to keep it real? Overall, Escalades, Sprinter van, flights. What have we paid in transportation?
What have we all?
Together, what like estimate for
I
the
haven't paid
for
for that much of
for
the
the 1%
transportation.
overall though, like your
What?
flight,
No,
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying
paid
all of us
some.
put
All
together.
right,
All the
Kyle's
1%
got all of our
partners.
About
Ubers
some of
to the
it.
airport
the 1%
tomorrow.
partners.
We could have thrown an event, Dylan.
No, we could.
I'm
Oh
joking.
well, for
We could have
Oh,
started
wait,
an
actually, we
initiative.
could have thrown.
we could have thrown an Ascend.
An
I
Ascend,
can
yeah.
throw an Ascend event for $2,000 currently. By the way, December 3rd, Springfield,
2
Missouri.
grand sounds right.
Be
$2
there.
grand sounds-
We'll all be there.
RockwellFinancialSolutions.com
You
forward
think
slash
that we
Ascend.
all we spent was
Nolan
$2
will be
grand?
there. Nolan from Mullet Bros will be there.
You think
Yeah.
that we only
Will
spent
he really?
$2 grand transportation?
Yeah, we're,
You guys
all,
are
we're
going?
all coming. Yeah,
I thought it was more
Well, it
than
was
that.
only $90.
Yeah,
a
you
trip.
better be coming.
Nolan's
SB's
bringing
paying.
toys.
I thought
That's
we
a week
said
later,
around.
though.
Oh,
Events
we're
are
going to
1 week-
both. We're going to both.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's a true friend right there, folks.
Are you staying
Are
in
you
Springfield
going?
then?
Are you going?
Going
no, you're
where?
not. Bet you're not. He's
Ascend.
coming.
Coming to
Are
what?
you coming to Sun?
I'll get a tow truck and haul you out here.
Well, it depends. My brother may be having a kid if we're talking about December 2nd.
And
And
bring it,
And
bring
my
them.
mom's having heart.
Bring the
heart
Hey,
kid.
that'd be
surgery.
good for press.
Woman-
Woman gives birth at toy drive.
Well, my mom kind of had a second heart attack, so I'm not sure if I'll.
Alright.
I'm not.
All
yeah.
righty, John Leslie.
Way to bring the mood on that.
You could
one.
have just said no.
I'm
by
gonna
the way.
force you.
no would have worked
my mom's
just
dying.
fine, by the way.
No, or maybe could have worked. Sorry about that, by the way. But
You're
no, or
good.
maybe could work.
I'm not
Just
sure.
You're asking me to come to a Sun or the toy drive?
Which one would you?
Or
go to?
none.
You did need an
If
excuse
you
to
don't
come
care
to
about
Dallas.
us, you don't have to.
Well, now that I'm broke,
Yeah.
I might as
After
well
all
go.
these investments.
Yeah, now after all these escalates.
Escalades. You could have gone to Missouri on these. You got the Amex, bro. It won't cost you a dang thing.
can I use the platinum one?
my play?
Well, I don't have a platinum.
Dylan,
Deal.
have you been a good boy this year? Christmas is right around the corner.
I could use a spanking.
I might. Oh,
We'll call up Molly.
Call him out. Call
and
him
will
out.
Molly be at the toy drive giving gifts?
Should be given some kind of gift.
No, actually, you know who needs a special honorable mention? That tattoo guy.
Facts, Nolan. Shout out Nolan.
Nolan. Not the brother.
Not Schaffner.
Not Schaffner, the tattoo
But
artist.
that dude was he needs his own stand-up comic.
is
He can
funny,
do
man.
crowd work. He's got a mustache the size of Luigi. What a saint, man.
He's a cool dude. He got shot also while giving a tattoo.
He did.
Caught a stray bullet.
Squeezed
Has a
the
video
bullet
of it
out.
on Instagram. Squeezing the bullet out. And the
Finish
caption
the
is,
tattoo.
finally got shot while giving a tattoo at work.
Squeezed the bullet out and finished giving the tattoo.
Blood was dripping.
Yes.
Kinda
That's
cool.
Crazy.
Real men. There are real men
Welcome
out
to
there.
Vegas.
Why did we not recreate the Hangover movie? That's my real question.
Who would we have lost?
I think that David,
There's only room for one pair of sunglasses.
Leslie? Oh, we lose.
No, I'm
we
good.
would lose Leslie. Yeah, because he'd like
You,
have
you
some
don't
weed
want
and
to see
it
the
would
shape
be
of my eyes.
We'd
right
lose
now.
him? What do you mean we'd
they're
lose him?
rolling.
Hangover.
I
Hangover.
don't think I've seen it.
You've seen Hangover.
Maybe.
Are you
How
serious?
are we friends if you haven't seen
I
Hangover?
mean, I've probably seen that. You know me. With names and stuff.
Well, I
It's
mean,
the
if
Bradley
Leslie,
Cooper
if,
movie.
if Leslie had to rely on a Samsung to get anywhere with that GPS,
To get to Tao. To get to Tao.
he'd be gone.
I
phone
did
would
better
take
than
you to
you,
the
leading
room.
us to the back of the convention. We almost got into someone's back of
John
someone's
Leslie,
cargo
we
box.
would lose you because you'd see an arch on a building. And, he'd be over there. Oh my God, I
Guys,
gotta
I'm
see
an,
it.
I'm an architect.
Don't
Let
worry,
me
I'm
You'd
an
be
tell
talking
you.
to the security guard. Did you know I do lighting? I deserve
do.
to be here.
We're at the what's a hotel casino we're at
Venetian.
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 We're at the Venetian.
Very
Leslie's
nice.
like, I personally wouldn't have done that.
Very distasteful. The guy who got paid $30 million for architecture fees had no clue what he was doing here. No, check it.
Hey,
His work is
We're
very
pressed
good.
with us.
how
We just
did you
joke with
guys
each
like
other,
dinner
but
at
They rip
Tao?
on me. 'cause
he
they
showed
love
me photos. He has amazing work.
What'd
he's
you
done.
say?
Amazing work.
How'd you guys like dinner at Tao?
Well, we
Oh,
spent
if
an
it
hour
had
trying to
dinner.
find it, and it was closed.
For some corporate.
So we
event.
settled for a place we passed on the way.
I wouldn't say Saturday. It was a really nice restaurant.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And you know me with the food.
Carlos, right? Was it Carlos or what they call it? Yeah, it was Carlos. Buddies,
Listen,
buddies.
places need, if you're going to build a restaurant, the circular booths where it's like half a circle.
Horseshoe.
Amazing.
Yes.
Horseshoe.
Amazing.
Yes,
Horseshoe
horseshoe.
type booths.
I mean, take it from Culver's.
do it. Yeah, fact. And a beautiful view overlooking Vegas.
Yeah.
What else? Amazing food.
Amazing service.
Amazing
The guy
server.
talks to you with intent.
When he's talking to you, he's talking to you.
Yeah. When he asks you, he even
Deep
looks
in
you
your
right in the eye
eyes.
and go, "What are you doing for dinner?"
The smile.
And John Leslie said,
A glint.
John Leslie
Hanging
says,
with the guy.
I totally.
what are you doing for dinner? As in, what would you like to order?
Would
And
you
John
like
Leslie
to add
says,
him?
"Oh, I'm just hanging out
what
with
you
friends."
said before that?
And we're
What
at
did you
dinner.
say before that? Oh, he's in.
Yeah, Dylan told him he was a
Porn
P
star.
star, and so we don't have to bleep that. Isn't
Yeah,
that thing?
yeah.
Dylan said Dylan introduced John Leslie to the server as a adult film star. And then the server,
And he goes,
the server,
"What would you be doing for tonight?
No, he said, "What do you want for dinner?"
He
or
said
something.
dinner. He said, "What do you?"
What-
What are you doing for dinner
What are you
tonight?"
doing for dinner? He said.
I'm like, what?
And
Not
John
you,
Leslie,
buddy.
instead of saying, "I want chicken piccata," said, "Oh, I'm just hanging out with my buddies."
And the waiter.
No,
the
I
waiter
said
looked at
it's
him
not
and he
that kind of
walked away.
production.
The waiter.
He started
What
with
kind
me
of
after
what
that.
ears were
Came
you
on the side
had?
of the
I said it's not that kind of production, and he was like, "Okay, so you're not eating?" And I was like, I didn't even hear him. I thought he was hitting on me.
And then he comes back and goes, "Are you still not eating?" He's like, "What?"
It's like, no, I have a chicken marsala.
Oh my god! What else are we talking about, Dylan? You had one more question. You had three. That was a 3-part.
Hold on, real quick.
We've taken many
I think,
avenues.
assuming we don't have another one,
Another what?
what is something we need to do for 1% this next year? Since we're all part of 1%, it's kind of the only thing we have in common. That's like together. The
Yeah.
only thing we really do that's together.
One, fill the room, but now we have proof of concept because we spent the money
Yeah.
on
Product.
production.
We way overspent
I
on
would disagree.
production
Yeah.
to
I
make
would
it look
disagree.
bigger than it was.
I would disagree.
Then you disagree on filling the room?
On over. No.
We did not
We need
overproduce.
so-
we
We
had
produced
so-
exactly as
I,
much as
going
I
down to 40
disagree on
this
his
year.
comment of way overspending.
No, because if we would spend
he wasn't
less,
right.
what
You
You
would
think
you
you
got?
think that spending 21 on an event and selling like 12 grand worth of tickets is
Bro, I went negative 40K to get everything started,
yeah, true.
and
yeah.
I paid it off.
Yeah, no, I've gone very negative on
And guess
projects,
what?
but
He's now in the green.
I think we overdid the production. I'm saying in a good way though.
I think we
Yeah, yeah.
needed to.
I agree.
Yeah, we did.
I 100% agree. But I think
It's
It'll
gonna
come
make
back.
this next
this
one.
come
next
back.
year we'll probably
Yeah,
overspend again
If I'm lucky.
if we're lucky, yeah.
if I write the checks. Right? No, but
you know what I'm excited for is the daily calls that are about to come, like planning the 1%.
I'm
I don't
also
think people realize.
I
how much
want to
planning.
say this because I think there's something that people could benefit from, and it's something I learned from someone, and then also a guy we met at the David Meltzer thing yesterday. He owns that Huntington Jewelers or whatever. That guy
Yes.
was wearing a beautiful suit, had the
I'm
mustache.
calling him,
Sick dude. He's a real cool dude. Text him today.
It's so
and he is getting mentored by Dan Pena or whatever, who is hilarious.
We're talking. I'm talking to this guy, and he goes, yeah. He goes, man, crazy things have been happening ever since I started this
Yeah.
this jewel business with my wife. He goes, have you heard of Dan Pena? I said, I need you to stop what you're
$1 trillion
talking
man.
about real quick. Kyle.
Yeah, they got me because I think he's a. We used to sit there and cry laughing at Dan Pena
college.
funny compilation. Go look that up on YouTube. You'll be peeing
As
your
a
pants
sophomore
off.
and
He yells
junior
at
in
people.
college, we would
He
stay up
yells at
all
people.
night watching Dan Pena skip
That's an
class because we overslept.
He was amazing.
morally
But-
berates
so get the
people.
for sure, not morally. But anyways, so he creating a board.
For the better.
So I recently started a board, getting other people sort of involved in 1%, giving them a little bit of a voice and a say in things, but in return, they help on the board of the event and maybe help us get more people there, help us get more money in for the event. Not have like complete control over it necessarily, but like they get to cast their voice and help, because a lot of people want to help stuff like that.
Yeah.
But not everyone's going to go out and spend 20 grand doing their first event, because and the time, energy, effort. The time, energy, effort, I think we could all agree is worse than the money. Because the amount of time it takes to do something like that, like, is a joke. You would agree. Like, to do even a small event, to do an event of 15 people takes time, energy, and effort that you would never think it does, and you don't really get paid from it. Oftentimes you lose money.
Don't work with you very well either. When they're like, hey, you gotta get in. You
horrible.
Gotta have a whole team. You have to have a whole team.
And coordinating everything is a horrible thing. But like, bring in a board sort of to where there's other people who can get involved and help. But that's what that one guy said about Dan Pena. Dan Pena taught him this like 6 or 7 step process. You're guaranteed to succeed. One of the biggest things is a board. And I was like, okay, it seems like we might be doing something there. But we've got a lot of cool people. Dimitro, Trey. Dimitro is going to be amazing. Yep. Dude's got a heart of gold.
I can't wait to meet him. I've not met him.
Really wants to help people. Owns a used car dealership and a construction company. He's in his young 30s, born in Ukraine. Yeah. Came from nothing. So like, you two will get along great. But all he wants to do is help. All he wants to do is get people in the room, bring some money into it, all that type of stuff, which is so cool.
All these guys with money, like, that's really all they want from us. Like, because you kind of expect like these guys are going to want a lot because their time is so extremely valuable, and then they kind of see what we're doing and they're like, no, how can we help you?
Yeah, there's a lot of people we met like that.
It's an amazing thing.
100%. And I think that this year we may go quote unquote a little over budget again production wise. However,
like to hear it.
We can. That helps us build it. Yeah, because it'll be easier to advertise this next one. Because for an event of 70 people, I don't think I've ever seen that much production. Like, seriously. We brought in a 3-foot tall by 16 by something foot stage from Southwest Audiovisual, a DJ, sparklers, a red carpet, a legit camera crew, which was like ridiculously expensive for what it was.
Just the start.
Like just a bunch of goofy stuff we did.
Like, buckle up
for a short for and dude, the funny thing about it was, and Dylan's the one who pushed me to do this, which I hated, but it was probably a very good thing in a long time. Well, no, I hated it.
Fear and excitement share the same wavelength.
But no, so you got to understand, I booked this thing in a warehouse that's attached to an antique mall. Okay, like we're talking like spray foam roof with exposed rafters type of huge, but very not cheap, but cost effective, we'll call it. Yeah. And then Dill's like, no, we need a red carpet. And I was planning on this thing being originally like 30, 40 people at most. Couple local dudes who made some money, drove a cool car or two maybe. Just kind of, hey, who are you? What do you do? How'd you get started? Things you've overcome. Lessons you've learned the hard way, that sort of thing.
Even the overkill on the production, like I think Richard Lindsay was one of the people that were supposed to be there who made money, had the cool cars, and were local, and he couldn't make it because he had to go to some game. And
he got stuck. Yeah, is connecting because Springfield Airport's horrible with the connecting flights. Yeah, I almost missed. Yeah. Tomorrow I have like 55 minutes from the time the plane lands in Chicago, which will probably take us 15, 20 minutes to get off the plane. Then I have to get to some other terminal.
When I landed in Vegas today, 2 days ago, it took me like half an hour to get off the plane.
Well, now that you're flying first class, you won't have that problem.
Yeah, now I'm flying first class.
Worst comes to worst, you'll just have an Escalade tank.
Dude back to New York. At dinner today, Dylan goes, hey, keep in mind, he's bought probably 9 to 10 Escalades on this trip, and he goes, hey, should I upgrade my flight to first class for $15?
I go, Dylan, you've booked a lot of Escalades and Yukons. And
we spend $2,000 in transportation. You're worried about $15
Real quick, though, Blake might have to take the VIP on the killer transport, though. Because he got a party bus Sprinter van to take us to the Meltzer dinner.
And my MX Platinum just got in, Monday.
Because he's rich.
Yeah.
And he has access to the lounge, and I don't because I have an Amex Business Plus card or something.
Yeah, dude, I'll see you on the plane.
Yeah, I have a $0 annual fee. How much is yours? $700?
8.
Poor boy.
7.
7 something.
7 something.
$7.99.
You know how I am with that. They always get me.
I know they always.
But you said you gave one of your team members a platinum. That's crazy to me.
You did?
Yeah, it was free. It was free. I didn't spend. I don't have to spend another $800 a month
Until he gets
Some of my
the bill.
friends
until I
use
get the
those
bill.
credit
Yeah.
cards.
Until
like
I didn't read the fine
$1,600.
line. Yeah.
You get one of the team members a platinum business card?
Yeah, you can
With
get
no limit.
It's called an expense card.
Cody, did you
No,
just
you
buy
can-
a Ferrari?
It's a work car,
This
boss.
has got to be wrong. This has got to be wrong.
No, it's Blake's
Get
account.
what?
It's Blake's account, and he's a authorized user on the account, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
means
just
you
an
can bang
expense
the
card,
card, though.
Yeah, you can still bang.
Yeah, you can still bang the card
But
for whatever you want.
you can set a limit on it.
on the expense card.
Yeah.
You should limit it for
I can't,
$1.
though. It's
And he
like,
goes
yeah.
to like 7-Eleven and goes to get a Colombian coffee.
Monster. Yeah.
I keep getting declined.
Get a plat. Why don't you have a platinum?
Because I'm poor.
Shut up,
No, $700 annual fee to me is crazy though.
dude. It's worth it. You get the lounge. You get your points.
towing
you get
your
5
Corvette
extra
Figure out
three
where that
3 times a
negativity
week,
comes
isn't it?
from.
I towed it 2 times in 1 week. Towed it 2 times in 1 week.
Have you ever had to jump it?
John Leslie, have you ever tried to jump a Chevy Corvette?
Wait, what happened to your fuses after that?
Yeah, dude. Have you ever blown fuses while jumping?
No, actually,
Never
I would
was?
have to have actually provided power to the Corvette to have blown fuses.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I didn't apparently.
John
did not
Leslie
know how to
cannot jump a Corvette, and he can blow fuses.
It turns out when you take advice on YouTube, make sure
Who
you
was-
take
hold
proper
on.
advice off YouTube.
I got a question. Who was
Yeah.
driving the Corvette after or before it broke down?
I was.
I think Dylan is the
He was
reason why
the
it
only
blew out.
one that was driving.
So Dylan blew the car out. John Leslie couldn't get it back going, and then the tow truck driver said, "No, this was 100% user error."
Yeah. But yet
I'm
we
sitting
took
there.
it back to the dealership and they jumped it and it did work.
Dylan's like, I promise, I barely got on it. Like I never
I
got
did.
on
Car
it.
never
And
had a problem. The second Dylan takes
That's
it out.
such cap.
Kyle,
I
I'm
know.
on the
And
phone.
then the starter
I'm on the
went
phone
out
with him.
like a couple of weeks
Kyle,
later.
your car just won't start.
And then Dylan goes,
Oh,
man, I'm
but
hungry.
your
I'll
mom
get an
did throw you
Escalade
under
to
the
a
bus.
restaurant down the road.
Your mom did throw you under the bus later on. She told us something about a fire and she had to go.
No. My mom went to go jump the car one time. This was like right after I got it. And I somehow trusted her. And she put it on there. And there were
Right on.
sparks going when she did it. And I was like, what are you doing?
Well, I can trust you.
It
There
was
were
on
no
her car,
sparks
not
when I
mine.
hooked it up.
It was on her car, not mine. Her car, there's sparks shooting off when she's trying to jump it. She's like, rev it. I'm revving it. Boom, boom, boom. It looked like DJ Will's spark cannons. And then
so
this
funny.
random dude, I'm like, I tell this random dude,
Let
I'm
the
like,
jury know.
what
I
are we
rest my
doing over here?
case.
The dude's like, oh, she doesn't have it on
wasn't his
right.
car. That was his mom's car.
No, it wasn't my car.
Oh,
Yeah.
Her car was sparking.
It was his.
No,
Oh,
because
really?
my mom was
Yeah.
like, I don't know if my insurance
She
would have
just
covered
said
this.
that he had just got the car and that she was trying to jump it, but she made that totally sound like it was your
Kyle,
car.
I think you buy an Escalade and get driven around.
I think we get an Escalade. Yep, you need a Chevy.
Escalade, I'm
For
telling you,
1%.
Escalades are not as expensive as you'd think if you buy like a
Okay.
2016.
How much do I have to sell for Rockwell to buy an Escalade?
To buy one or
Buy
to
an
like
Escalade?
rent it for?
Okay,
Buy it,
by the
wrap
way,
it in a 1% vinyl.
Hold on, just so the camera doesn't get the wrong thing. Escalades are not cheap. That's not what we're saying.
Oh, now they're not
they're
cheap.
actually
However,
quite
you
affordable.
can get
It's why
one
they're
for
on
like
taxis.
35 or 40,000. People think of an Escalade as like, oh my god, all
That's
these
like my
rich people
pickup.
driving, but like,
Yeah.
dude, a brand new like Impala costs that.
Okay,
much.
so go ahead and get your
An
NX
Escalade.
Platinum. Drive your ass on down to the
No.
dealership. And be like,
Get one.
clink clink. I'm here for an Escalade.
clink clink.
Click, click.
Apple Car.
You did
clink,
just
clink.
sell your Porsche, so you know what you can do? Buy an Escalade.
Buy an Escalade.
No. That was a couple months ago, doofus boy.
So great, we've got to fill the garage up.
However, if you do have a Jaguar F-Type in the 30-ish to 35,000 range, I might be interested.
If anybody has a Mercedes S-Class that they just want to donate to me, that'd be awesome.
You
Just
could
to
get
go for
one very
Oh,
easily.
for hopping on this, I want a 20.
Oh, let's talk
Those
about
are
goals.
30
Let's talk about goals.
Z4 for Christmas.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
next
get us
two-
back on track. Get
In
us
the
back
next
on
2
track.
years, I have a goal of $500,000 a year
Income.
and have a driver. Yes.
Wait,
You'd have a
okay.
driver on $500,000 a year?
Hell yeah.
How much is a driver?
Well, if I'm
100 in New York?
in New York,
$500,000 after
when you
taxes
have
is
crazy
probably under
dreams,
300.
You make crazy money.
Okay.
You can afford
A 30-year income's going to a driver?
bro, I would not hire.
You want to? Yeah, I know it's something you really want, though. It's something you really want.
I salute to you, soldier.
Yeah, dude. Wow, that'd be a lot of money.
My thing was my goal in my next 3 years. I want to make $500,000 a year, have a driver, an Escalade. I could see you in an S class. I think you should have. What did you want?
Here's the thing about if we're talking about cars, my thing for like right now, an S-Class has to be my second car because I need like a Sprinter van for like boxes for the printing.
Not
business.
like the one we had
I
here.
need
Here's the only thing.
No,
Can
no,
I
no,
say
no.
this real quick? I used to have goals as cars, but I don't think that's smart, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, no.
I
for
The reason
sure.
why is because
Absolutely.
all of us could probably drive far nicer cars than we do, because as long as you have decent credit, they don't even check your income.
Would you like
Most
a
people don't realize that.
15-year note?
like there are a lot of people driving around in ridiculous cars that are like
Yeah.
one whoops away from not being able to make the payment. So like
Yeah.
here's the thing about it is like
Don't make your goal.
you
a
could
car.
drive much crazy. We could all drive much crazier cars than we do. But here's the thing. Again, it's like if my option is drive a car that costs another $60,000 or do a cookie shop.
Exactly.
See where I'm
Invest
going?
that.
Or
put
like if
it
the
in, like,
difference is an Escalade or spend
Crypt-
30,000, invest 30,000 into a tour
Oh shit,
or
crypto.
50,000, whatever.
I
it
mean,
is.
at least you're
Something.
trying to invest it.
Or
you know,
going
if it's
on-
going. If your money's
Yeah.
going into a car payment and it's gonna be
Well, 1%.
gone, you might as well.
Because real quick. Also I think of it like this. Because I didn't used to. We couldn't have done 1% because I couldn't afford the loss if I was car broke.
Oh, good,
If I was
yeah.
car broke, I wouldn't have been able to do 1%. Also in December, I'll probably spend $2,000 on the send and probably $3,000 on the toy drive. So it's a $5,000 event loss in December. If I was paycheck to paycheck because of a car like a Lambo, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
If I was driving a $4,000 a month Lambo, I couldn't do the toy drive or Ascend, which both events are completely free. You don't have to pay a penny to go to each either. And Ascend has a dude who started a pizza chain. They're at 3 locations currently. But dude started it himself. Post Game Pizza, it's called. I'm sure you'll connect with him.
Oh, I'll be
I've
talking. That's the
connected with
first
him.
one. What's his name?
Jacob.
I'm gonna go in there.
But
Jake-
and then
who's
there's
Jacob?
also dude started a brand called Contender Esports. This dude's name's Brett. It's an esports center. So you go into this place and it's like a big retail center, like a big building, and there's just like 100 computers, and you competitively play your like what's that game where the cars hit the ball? Rocket Launch.
League.
Rocket Launch.
Mario Karts.
Mario Go-Karts.
Let's go
English
play
or Spanish.
Go-Karts.
But no, so it's like that, right? And there's memberships, or you can do birthday parties or whatever. And they've got locations worldwide. That guy's speaking there.
Yeah.
He's worth a few bucks, I'm sure. Yeah. So that's Brett, Jacob, and then I have Cel Chavez, who owned a tax and like whatever business, accounting type services. Gave it to his son. I think he still has a piece of it though. He owns a bunch of companies. The guy who introduced me to him said he owns like $50 million worth of real estate in Springfield, Missouri, which is like big, huge.
That's a lot of
So
real
we've
estate
got
in
those 3 dudes
Springfield, Missouri.
speaking. It's a completely free event. There's not a single ticket for sale. It's impossible to spend money because there's nothing to buy.
Yeah.
2 hours, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. An hour of it's networking, an hour of it's like Q&A with these rich dudes. There'll be a photo wall. Nothing like the 1% red carpet, but it's still a thing you can post on social media. And that's a quarterly event. It was inspired by Dan Fleischman. Shout out to Dan.
Shout out, Dan.
And it's kind of a knockoff of his elevator night.
No, that's good. I'm super excited for that. No, on the car thing, at least like as far
Mm-hmm.
as like my car, for example, that would be an investment because like I need it to haul boxes to the
Yeah,
post
100%.
office and stuff like that.
100%. In your industry, a car could be
An
an investment.
Absolutely.
Because your
Yours
image has to
is.
do with it. Same as like a realtor.
So here's like
a realtor
here's my
needs a nice
vision-
car.
Here's my
Yes,
vision
yeah.
with owning an Escalade and having a driver. It's worth it for me
It
because
absolutely
one,
is.
it does give an impression. We'll be honest.
100%.
2, if I had a vet or a Porsche or something, I could just take one person. But if I go, I have a
yeah.
driver and there's an opportunity where we can fit 8 people into an Escalade and go through New York City, that comes back
Also,
to another.
If that's a lot of stuff, if you're like on your phone a lot, then a 20-minute.
Yeah.
How long is your drive
Getting
to
work done.
It's an hour
Yeah.
and 14
Well,
minutes.
you wouldn't be
Also
doing
that
that
Hour and
probably
14
anymore,
minutes to
would you?
work.
One way.
Okay, so if you had a driver, then you could be getting work done in the back there,
Yeah.
or responding to text or stuff that you don't want to do at the office
Yeah.
or traveling in general.
Which I do
So
a lot
that would
of.
be another reason why a driver would be worth a good goal for you.
I agree.
I like driving nice cars. I like driving fast cars. I like driving loud cars. To me, it is valuable because I have kids that come up to me and tell me that's badass. I have guys I meet at the gas station that said it reminds me of when I used to not be an F-up. I have guys that tell me it reminds me that I need to do more with my life. And I was like, wow, I'm really impressed that my truck says all that from you. And then it's a conversation starter. So now you're able to you're able to outreach. Where if I had a Kia Forte, who's gonna want to talk to me on that?
Yeah, if your goal
Yeah.
is to have more conversations with people and push people, then having a cool car would be a great goal for you.
You know
Work
what I
hard,
think
play hard.
would be a great goal that I kind of am sort of the only one that can do, because it sort of should be local-ish to Springfield, I think. 31% board members. Like quality ones, not just random dudes.
30.
That's so many
30?
cooks in the kitchen.
No, but they
Nah,
but
they
they're
just bring people.
those aren't
So
people
many
that really
cooks in
are
the kitchen.
controlling the.
Dude,
But I'm talking about a guy like.
Do you think
Let me
Cody
think
would
of
do
someone who would real quick. You go ahead. But think of someone like Chudy. Do you think he would add or subtract to it? That's what
oh
I'm
my
thinking.
God, he would add.
I think he would add as far
He
as
would add.
connecting us with
did.
people,
He added to this
bringing
one.
people to. Because here's the thing. This is the thing, right? When someone has a level of commitment to something, they show up. So like, Chudy was
Which
one of
is
the
why
guys who
free
came.
tickets do not work.
I agree. Generally speaking, I do agree with that because there's no level of buy-in. But
Nothing
unless
to stake.
money is the true reason why you can't come, if you can't whip up the $300 to come or whatever, he brought like probably 9 people to this thing total.
Yeah.
And so, if he was a board member, for example, he would probably bring 10 people next year. So if you've got 30 people that will each roll with a unit of 10, you are at 300 people.
Yeah.
And
I don't think
so
that's
right
a bad
there,
goal, and I think we could do it this
It's
year.
a great system.
that's
think we
what.
could do it
And
this year.
also, do those
Easily.
people
We could do
want
that
the
this
thing to grow? And do they want to funnel money into it? Do they want to introduce you to their buddy who owns some type of auto
What
repair
event?
shop who wants to sponsor the event and throw a table in there for $1,000? Do they want? You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
those types of things where, or do they want to introduce you to their friend who's a newscaster who will get you on the news? So like people with that certain level of buy-in who, want to see it succeed. And I've seen a couple things now. That's how a lot of nonprofits and charities make
Build
it happen is through a board. And that's what I've seen on the Big Brother Big Sister board. And like Brett, the guy who's speaking at Ascend, met him on the Big Brother Big Sister board. We were both on the board. I just joined. I just got invited. That wasn't long ago. But like he has been on it for longer than I have. And like cool dude, connected
Dude,
instantly.
you were probably one of the best people they could have picked to be on a board for the stuff that they do. Big Brother Big Sister, like you are like the ideal big brother for some kid. Plus you have the network to show up in a Lambo, dress up as Santa, and be like,
Yeah.
"What's up, kid?"
But shout
Tell
out.
us
That was
about that.
Chudy. That wasn't me. The lefty.
Most of the boards are going to be mostly local people, or
Yes,
just people.
and also keep in mind, because I know you weren't 100% sold on the board. I don't think initially.
I still
But-
am not.
I know. But the board, it's not like a bunch of people. And here's the thing: me being on the board of Big Brother Big Sister, I couldn't walk into Taste of the Ozarks and be like, "Move that over there." Like
They won't have
I
like
can't do.
a-
All
yeah.
I did was show up, and I brought 8 people,
Why do you think a board's a bad idea?
and brought
I'm
the
not
money into the
educated on the
event.
concept. I think you
Gotcha,
being on
gotcha.
Big Brother Big Sister is great. The 1% thing, I'm not.
No, I'm saying the 1%.
Yeah.
Why,
Oh, I'm not
why are you
educated
against-
enough on the system
Like how it would go. You're saying.
and
Tell me your biggest problem with it, because this could be good for the thing.
I think
Why
my
do you
biggest
think the idea
problem is
bad?
lack of education.
The camera. I gotta replace the battery again. I have like 4 batteries.
Didn't
I like
conk
how
out?
mine's still
Did conk
going.
out? Is it not going? Real quick, why do you? What's your biggest concern off the top of your head with the board?
I need more education. I need more information. But my other one is 1, too many cooks in the kitchen, and 2,
I can see that.
it's like when you have so many people part of a board running around talking about how they're part of 1%, it would take away from the people who are actually building.
Yeah.
In
maybe.
regards, I mean, or it would bring more press.
Here's the only thing though. If I tell someone, I mean, I don't go around broadcasting 100% like I'm on the board of Big Brother Big Sister, but
I would though.
but I don't think that takes away from like the cause.
It's no, not the cause. I'm saying it takes away from. Say that
like the spotlight of someone who's
Not a spotlight. It's a reputation thing for me. So say there's us 4, and then we have
there's some goof up that's
we
on
have
the
some
board.
goof up who's like, yeah, I'm a partner on
Very
the board
vetted,
of
though.
1% X, Y, and Z.
We have 2 dudes currently who I've put in there. One is an MMA dude who's been on TV fighting, and and also is part of a big company, makes good money, and was at 1% represented. And then number 2, the second, is a dude who owns a construction company at a used car dealership, And it just bought land and is currently building a hangar for his plane and is paving like a half-mile long runway for it. And it's just for him. So I feel like he's not like a goof up. You know what I mean? He's not running around doing something crazy bad or something. I think
I just need more info. I need to educate myself on the system.
Yeah, and we could even do a voting thing because like Big Brother, Big Sister, they vote.
I think there's a lot of conversations that we're having here that necessarily shouldn't be on a podcast, but should be on a actual just discussion.
What's up?
Edit all this out and post.
Oh no,
But,
I
I
think
mean-
this should stay.
Yeah.
I think this should stay because Kyle and I used to.
What do you think, Dylan?
I say send it.
We also
anyways,
I
I
don't
also
care if it
say
stays or
it
not.
is
But what is
1 a.m.
really cool?
Vegas time. I haven't packed, so I have about half an hour before I have to go back to pack. And
No, that's good. That'll be great. I think it's really cool to video all this and like get the behind the scenes stuff. Grant Cardone does
one
that.
with Brandon
does that.
Dawson
Brandon Dawson and Grant
of their
Cardone.
plan of what they were going to grow Cardone Ventures into,
And
and
for-
they've done it.
Yeah.
It's like a 5-year-old thing. It's
Yeah.
got a bunch of views, and it was what they were going to do. And
How
they
are
were
we
just
gonna
talking.
how are we gonna bring more revenue?
How are
into
we
it?
going to
Like,
blow
that's-
this thing up
that's the
into
whole
like
thing.
a gajillion-dollar
And
brand? And they've done it pretty much what they said they were going to do so far.
Before watching that, the only thing that I had seen from like Grant Cardone was his podcast with Jordan Belfort, and I was like, this
You
guy
hate
is a.
They are not
dickhead.
friends. They do not like each other.
No, and I was like, how is Grant saying he's a better salesman than Jordan Belfort?
Yeah, big
Like,
ego battle for
It was a
sure
huge ego
between the two
battle.
of them.
But after watching that, like I gained so much respect for him because you see how their brains are working, like how they plan to 10x their
grow the
profits or
company.
whatever, grow the company.
The real reason
Could be
I
good,
wear
yeah.
sunglasses is I don't want anybody get lost in my eyes, and if I look in the mirror, I don't want to get lost in my eyes either.
It's,
So-
it's hard when I look
Do
this
you have to brush your teeth with the glasses on? You're like, oh shit.
If you saw my teeth routine, I've been talked out of veneers many times.
Veneers.
I want veneers so bad.
Why?
You'd have them if you didn't buy all these Escalades. Shoot, you wouldn't need to talk yourself out of them. You won't ride around like
so
Drake
funny.
all the time.
That's so funny. What are you gonna do next? Because you just did something pretty big. And that's releasing when? When
March
is the show?
2025.
March of 2025. The show's coming out on Apple TV, and
Amazon
that's
Fire
gonna open up a lot of doors for you. But what are you gonna do in the meantime?
Yeah, it will.
So for the rest of the year, I'm going underground. We're getting the book moving. I want it out by February 2025.
Quick.
What's the book
That's
gonna be
impressive.
about?
It's a first-person perspective of going through high school, not knowing you have dyslexia, and then when you learned what you had to do to overcome it,
Yeah.
and what it was, how you could in a year and a half go from 50s to graduating on time.
If you could change having dyslexia, would you change that about yourself?
No, it's helped thousands of people who have dyslexia, who don't,
Yeah,
who,
yeah.
who
Your
need.
story is everything you are. You try to change your story, that you wouldn't be the same person anymore.
Yeah, that's
Dylan
good.
wouldn't be Dylan.
Yeah.
He'd be some other guy.
Also, I read there's a statistic saying that most entrepreneurs or
Hurt.
business owners are hurt, but like a large,
A lot have
like
dyslexia.
80%.
I saw that too.
80% of them have like some sort of learning disability, but they
Yeah.
work so hard to overcome that. They just naturally become so hardworking and dedicated to whatever they're
A
building
lot.
towards. To
A lot had massive
And-
issues in school too.
yeah.
A lot of them too are dropouts. So many business owners are dropouts,
Yeah.
and actual business owners.
What's also
Like,
really
people
cool.
are really doing it. It's crazy.
People will ask us when we graduated college or when'd you graduate? Oh, we actually dropped out, and we actually get more respect for dropping out than we
That
did
was
with
one of the
degrees.
one of the biggest reasons why I dropped out was because all the successful people I knew would always go around like, I'm a dropout.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, dude, that was actually so cool.
I remember
never
telling my
went.
parents.
Yeah.
He didn't even.
I remember telling my parents, I was like, hey, I don't know, you're not gonna believe this, but we're spending so much money, and I'm not learning anything. I'm making great connections. I'm not learning anything in the school system, and I was like, I gotta drop out, and they're like, you're not dropping out. And then I figured out a way to prove to them and like show them. I built
Made
a
a
plan
couple
for them.
bucks. Money started
yeah.
somewhat flowing.
Yeah, money started flowing through social media, and then I was like, hey, if we actually, I showed them money from some of the merch we were selling when we were doing it through a third party,
I was like, hey, if we actually fulfill their own merch, like, then I could also like open it up to more businesses as well. And
Yeah,
like,
if you're making $20 on a shirt.
I was like, hear me out. If I'm doing 6 figures in revenue next year, I was like, and I'm gonna be doing that after I graduate college, selling insurance.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
What do you like? Do you think I can give dropping out a try?
Yeah, even at $100,000 at 50% margin, like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
as much as you're gonna make or more as a first year college graduate in Missouri.
Right.
I'll close out with this because I need to pack before I fall asleep.
We all need to pack.
I'll-
We're leaving
I will.
at 4th. What time are you leaving?
It's probably 7, 6.
We leave in
Okay.
3 hours,
Okay. Yeah, I gotta.
That's
fucking
crazy.
pack.
So
3.5.
I will leave everybody with this. If your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. And if you're sitting around comfortable thinking about why I have anxiety comes from the work that you're not doing.
True.
And the biggest thing I learned was when I challenged myself to not judge anybody, my first question was, why do people judge, right? And most of us judge other people for things that they do, wear, say, or carry themselves about reflecting back on us. Like, I'm judging this person because I don't like that because it's showing me that's what I look like. And if you are going to chase your goals and your dreams, you're going to lose a lot of people on the way. And that's because when you get yourself to a certain level, your presence makes certain people's demons come to the surface, and just being around you makes them uncomfortable and they can't
True.
even be around
Thank
you.
you.
Has nothing to do with you.
That
That
is
actually
very
is a sign that you're doing well and you're doing the correct things.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
another life lesson I learned this year I'm going to close out with is you are enough. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I love you guys all. I need to pack before I fall asleep and miss another flight. On tour, I almost missed every flight, so I can't do that again.
I almost
Buddy's never
missed
been a
mine
rebel.
here. I almost did.
Buddy's never
That
been a
is so
rebel.
true. When you do overcome that,
Dude, like,
that it's funny to hear the people after you achieved whatever you achieved, to hear the people come back or like now want to congratulate you or whatever. Because I was in the bar that I always used to go to. This kid comes up to me who was a friend of mine in high school, and he goes, "Dude," he goes, "You know what's so funny when you were, posting all those videos and posting like what you're doing in the business? Everyone was like, 'Oh yeah, look at what Blake posted.'" Like, he goes, "And now you're actually doing it." And I got chills, and I was like, "Well, I appreciate that." And I was like, "Wow!" It's like even the people who were supporting you, like now they're kind of upset that you made it, And so you're gonna see who's real and who's not.
Oh, for sure. This
So
happened to me
remember.
this year, too. I got a lot of fake in my life, a lot of fake people coming up to me for certain things, but I'm just like, you know what? What a sign.
Yeah.
Like, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Where do I
hate us
send the
again.
invoice?
You have to buy the Escalade too.
Oh, you want my
you have
time?
to write the check.
Oh, you
and
want
send them in an Escalade.
Wait.
I
Take
need a
it as
carbo.
invoice
I
for
need a
this.
Tao dinner, an Escalade.
I should.
As
No,
long
we
as
should
John
be
Leslie
paying
doesn't take us
them.
to Tao.
The haters talk about us and spread our name around more than
Fact.
anybody else does. So they should be sending us an invoice if I'm being honest
No.
with
Yeah, I'll leave you guys with this.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to cut this line, but I have to get out of my system. If somebody's talking bad about you, and they're opening their mouth, give them a reason to keep it open or tell them to shut it.
Yeah.
Why do you have to cut that?
Preach.
Yeah, we're keeping that in.
Preach.
Well,
We're
because-
leaving
On
that.
that note,
When are we
D
gonna-
is for defying all people's faces.
All right, everyone.
Don't get me
Wait.
canceled.
When are we seeing each other again? What's the next
kidding.
plan?
Oh, here's a
Well,
little
we'll be
maybe-
seeing each other at the ice cream parlor.
Well, we'll see each other at the buffet in the morning. That's what. When are we? What's the next thing? Springfield? Are you going to Springfield?
We will see about the December event coming up.
December's hard for me to swing.
What?
Are you upset I can't make it? There's no way I'm making
Why
it.
would I be upset if you can't make
You're
it? dude?
busy. You're busy.
Taking a 15-hour day connecting flight for a 2-hour event? No, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
upset if
yeah.
you can't make it.
It's driving
On a what
distance
day?
for me. 66
Both
hours. I bring my
toy,
team.
toy drives Tuesday, December 10th. Or no, yeah. And then Ascend is Tuesday, December 3rd. So they're 7 days apart. Ascend is Tuesday, December 3rd. Toy drives is Tuesday, December 10th.
I
Plug
am-
whatever
Here,
else.
people.
Anything else to plug?
1% is the first Saturday of September 2025. I think it's like the 4th.
Not Kyle Gardner. Is that the one you're?
I mean,
What do you got
I
to
don't
plug?
push it.
John F. and Leslie.
John F. and Leslie. Mullet Bros _ for comedy. Blake.Schaffner on Instagram.
Don't forget his OnlyFans.
And
Oh,
OnlyFans.
you
Feet
plug-
Finder.
Dylan Smith Dyslexia on Google, Ds for Sexy 19 on Instagram. I want to say I'm proud of all you boys.
I love you, dude. I love all you guys. We're gonna do some good
Reciprocating.
things.
Leslie, you gotta stop dressing like a dad, dude. All right.
When you're 36.
Man, we've been ripping on John Leslie.
We've ripped on Leslie.
I know.
And
know
you
we
haven't
love
dished
you.
it back at all. Which
Yeah,
is why
that's
what
the
hell.
problem. That's the problem.
See, we've been dishing
Maybe
it back
that's
and
why we're
forth.
doing it. Maybe
But
we're waiting
the
on him
problem
to
is,
dish it
is
back.
that you aren't dishing it back, which is making me feel bad.
Yeah, that's the
I'm a
problem.
nice guy. I
Yeah,
kill people with kindness. That's
No,
why I never
dude.
met any-
But
any
we're all dishing it
strangers.
back and
yeah.
It's one of the things that makes me me is that I just I can listen, I can absorb, I can understand, I can relate, I can communicate, I can understand where
All
you
right, before we go off air,
Yeah.
you gotta dish it to each one of us.
Yeah. One roast each.
Yeah.
One roast a
Oh,
person.
God.
Because you gotta get good at. You gotta know we're in this group. You gotta.
You
be
gotta
able to
give
dish
it. You're taking. You gotta give it back.
Okay. Well, how about this? I won't do an insult, but I will leave
Just dish it.
constructive criticism. How
No,
about that?
dish it.
Jesus, that's
He's like, you need to lose weight.
constructive criticism sounds like it's actually gonna hurt our feelings.
Just
You
make
need
a
to
joke
get out
instead
of your
being
own
real.
way when it comes to your own self-belief. I've heard
Dang.
you more
Yeah.
times in your
This is actually
subconscious
hurtful. I feel.
tell you that you are not good enough when you really are. So
Oh
get out
my
of your own
God.
way.
Oh.
Blake, you are more than capable. I feel like you don't give yourself enough compliments when it comes to women, yet you have all the game in the world.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Dylan's got ego. Sometimes it gets a little ahead of himself. Most times you kind of have to keep it in balance. But for the most part, keep going, Rockstar. You're shooting high.
That is good.
Dude,
That
I
is
gotta
good.
tell you, John Leslie, telling me that you thought I'd break this chair would have been much better.
Also, I will
You
say
could have
though.
called him short, me fat, and him fat.
Here's the
I'm
thing
glad you
about
didn't tell me I was wrong.
about. Here's the thing though. I think sometimes it gets miscommunicated that we're actually like ripping on each other and not confident in ourselves, but we do it because we
Yeah.
find it funny and it's
See,
like
that's what I'm still.
def-
because
it's like
I
a
don't know
defense.
you.
I have
It's kind of a-
I'm
if we
massive
make fun
ego.
of-
I don't
super
share
well.
it. Here's the funny thing.
I mean, I trust.
I have a massive ego. I do not show it.
yeah.
I try not to, because like most
Yeah.
people
You
tell
would
me they think I
never
hurt
guess.
on myself.
Yeah.
You're one of the only people that probably knows
Yeah.
the
No,
type
I'm.
of. I have a absurd. My ego's as
should.
high as his.
It
my
should, because
my
it's
ego's
more
higher. Probably, to be
powerful.
honest. Like,
I think
I have a lot of self belief.
Do I
think
come
maybe
off?
you're
Do I come off
overthinking that.
arrogant? That's my
No,
question.
not. I don't think you do.
Then maybe
Not
you're
to us, I
overthinking
don't
it,
know.
Kyle.
Oh, when it comes to the fat jokes and like self thing, it's kind of like a defense thing because if you can
Oh,
make
no,
fun
I
of
used to do
yourself,
the same
nobody
thing.
else can hurt
When
you.
I was
you know?
297, you think I didn't make fun of myself?
Well, not
before
even
I
like
Hey,
made
you
about
was
weight.
too. No,
I was like-
but yeah, it's like
I mean, I still can like control
Oh,
my
yeah.
stomach, like the belly dance, and I can still push it out as far as I want.
You're real
Suck it in,
big,
as
John.
much as I
You're
want.
real big.
But,
don't
like,
go through that window
I mean,
now.
He has not heard that
Why not?
before. I feel like my ego's gotten better though.
we knew
Yes.
that was gonna
Yes.
hurt.
Dude, we are
When he
doing
said I'll
great.
just do constructive criticism, I was like, this is gonna hurt worse.
This is-
I do not think you have a big. I think you have a big ego.
I
but-
think
You
I
have
toned
a
it down
big-
big time though.
Dude,
You
here's
do
the thing,
tone
though,
it
you were
down.
perfect.
Like,
Dude,
yeah.
you need an ego because the problem
You
is
do need an ego.
Everyone
Yeah.
has to have an
especially
ego.
in your type of business, the only people that have gotten anywhere in the speaking world, you can tell have an ego.
Absolutely.
Here,
So,
here, listen.
but-
I was not gifted in many
You-
ways, but ego is all I have. Everything else
believe in
about me
yourself.
is small.
I don't know
I
if
have
ego's
the
the
ego
right
that's
word.
big.
Here's
You
the
believe
thing.
in yourself.
You are
That's the
5'5".
word.
Y'all-
You are
y'all are-
5'5".
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Tall,
She
dark.
told me.
Lady.
The makeup artist
The
said
ma-
5'5".
The makeup artist
Oh
said
my God, I love
5'5".
Two sides of ego and
Dylan
a
went,
grander
"Whoa."
theme of what it is.
I'm gonna pack and we're after I pack, we're gonna go play roulette until we call the Uber.
I'm and
You should be.
Not here, not.
Oh, that no.
No, I'm
there's
Blake
sorry.
already
sarcasm.
did.
You don't want
Back
to,
in
is
there.
what I'm
You
trying
ain't
to
going
say.
back in
No.
there, Top G.
I'm glad we spent $600 to make this podcast happen.
that's you know what that is? That's some
600.
platinum Amex activity.
That's the damn
We spent
straight.
$600 and you spent $600 and we got constructive criticism.
And guess what?
And my ego's too big.
And guess what? My platinum Amex
Limit is?
limit is.
None. No limit, no max out, as Tony Marino would say.
This is true. This is true.
No limit is impressive.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'll make a course for you guys.
I mean, to be honest with you, though, the no limit definitely had to do with your standing you're in good standing with all of the restaurants in town. You always pay your tab off at the end of the month. The Golden Corral hasn't
I tip
repoed
well.
anything from you.
Yeah.
The Outback Steakhouse, all those medals, you always pay your bill.
It was Prime Quarter Steakhouse. No,
Prime
it's
Quarter
not.
Steakhouse, my bad.
Yep. Scottie Pippen eats there, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Roll up.
We're
Just
turning
so we
it on.
have it done.
Great.
Hard stop.
I'm going back.
Might go audio only for a short period. Oh,
No,
no,
we
we last
have-
time I've seen you for a minute.
We have multiple cameras.
Until I do something else stupid or crazy.
Well, we have something crazy going on.
I'm in the big league.
You know that. That's a long time.
catch you
That's like
later.
8 months. 8 people, likely.
You guys do know moving furniture costs money too.
No.
Dude,
yeah.
it was $100 call a dude.
I don't put that still.
I hadn't stand in a parking lot for 2 days.
I minimize and he maximizes. GJ, he doesn't want to be with us.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Love you, boys.